4 keys that I've identified for IT success. The notion here is that learning new technology is really not the way to advance your career. Technology is that minimum requirement. In other words, yes, you need to know the tech, but that's not what's required to move forward in your career. I talk about this a lot, and there's a good reason for that. This is something where it's very much needing to be talked about. If we visualize a target, there are 4 key areas that are going to be used to hit that target. First is mindset. The second is mentoring. The third is methodology, one of my favorites. The fourth is mastery. One of the things we've noted about those that are considered successful is that, yeah, sure, they have a general knowledge, but they have a specific specialization. In other words, what are they known for? For example, for me, that thing was Citrix. That's what I'm most well known for. And not just because I wrote a book on it, because there were things that I was doing that were true about that in the Citrix world. And so that's what I was known for. Now, there are a lot of ways to learn this sort of thing. And these would include things like going with an on-demand course, cohort style, which means that you're learning with other people on a certain pace and kind of a community. Yeah, there's books, there's live trainings. What I asked in the survey was to identify some methods that you like to learn as far as mastery goes. What you told me is that you like self-paced or online courses. In fact, in-person learning was dead last. And I find that ironic because that's actually what a lot of companies will put up a lot of money to do, because obviously this is what the vendors want you to do. They want you to spend a lot of money to get somebody to train you in person, that sort of thing. And that was actually the least preferred and least successful option for people. So if you're watching this and you are in control of those budgets, hey, guess what? You're better off funding a self-paced option or a membership-based option where there's like a all-you-can-eat thing. Second way was books. Another one was live seminars and mastermind type groups. When you have a collection of people that are all working together, that iron sharpens iron concept, where you are working not only on things that you're working on, but you're keeping other people accountable for what they're growing in as well. Masterminds are really important to me, so I was glad to see them on that list. The key here is that if you want to get ahead with a specialization, you need to get into ways to accelerate that. Sure, there's labs and things like that you can do, but honestly, my advice these days is to borrow other people's success and do it that way.